hair stinky.
We are what we are.
We are what we are. We've been wild camping.
I'm just sharing it out.
Right, I'll just wait and see if anyone comes in. We're just starting a live stream. We found a great spot. We haven't found a spot in over a week. I'll just wait for Michelle to share out some things. If anybody comes in, say hello so we can just verify. I did make it public, I think.
I better just check that.
This melon.
See what's happening.
So no numbers in at the moment.
Okay.
Somebody in? Say hello. Oh.
Are you watching? Who's
Hey.
watching?
I'll say hello.
Oh, I've got to make sure
Get the ball rolling.
Sound right down.
So just check my sound is okay. I'll give you a show around where we are. We're just south of Angers, which is a big city in below Normandy. And we've just come through Angers. It's a Sunday, so it's nice and quiet. Very pretty town, wasn't it?
Yes, lovely.
Very
lovely
pretty town.
Yes. And easy to get through.
Very easy. On a
quiet.
the bicycle route, we are doing, by the way, I'll explain to you, get some questions coming in, say hello. I am going to be eating because we've just found this spot. And what is beautiful is it's got an electrical charging unit just here. So we've really running on fumes of electricity at the moment. We're struggling to even get the GPS to work.
Yeah, because that ran out in Angers. I used the last of our power banks.
Yeah, we used the last of the power banks.
Charged.
So just check that my sound is working. Am I coming through clear? Is anyone speaking at all?
Oh, let me see. I'm still sharing. I'll be with you.
11 people in, I think, at the moment. So
Okay.
let's get some comments coming through and just check the picture is okay. It looks a little dark to me, but I have. Give me a thumbs up or tell me something that there's sound coming through. Otherwise, I'm talking for no reason.
I can go over there and find out if the sound's working.
Let me have a little look at this one, Michelle. I've got words are coming through.
Oh, sounds good. Thank you, Nicolette.
Oh, thank you.
You get the gold star.
Right, I can carry on talking. I don't want to update you on everything. You can see we've just had a brew. I have to use this handle because we're using the not paraffin, but it's a alcohol burner, and the flames come up so high that the handle gets red hot.
Just get a bit warm, doesn't it?
And I just while setting up, I've got some ham here, ham and fresh melon. And I came back, there's a wasp sat. He's coming back again. Yeah, go on. Yeah. You're going to get it.
Yeah,
you. Wasps don't trouble me. But he's eating my ham, and literally he's taking chunks out of it. You wouldn't believe it. There was in the middle, he was just sat there in the middle of my ham, and he's taken quite a big piece out of it. Cheeky monkey.
Yeah, he obviously liked it. He's back. So, there we go.
Are we ready?
Yep, I think I am.
Okay, so Michelle will field any questions that are coming in.
We struggled with power as well because there was no sun, was there?
No. Right. This fella's going to get, sadly, he's at my ham again. Whoa.
Oh, he's going to get whacked.
I'm going to have like wasp flavoured ham in a minute. Oh, I know. What could I do? Just find something to cover it. Maybe cover it with the ham. Oh, doesn't matter.
Let him have a bit
We share the ham.
Yeah.
I'm sharing the ham with my little wasp friend. I've got a bit of Dijon mustard, a bit of ham, some beautiful melon. What sort of melon is this? Like a honeydew melon or?
No, it's honeydew's yellow. Can't remember. Gone out of my head.
We've just cycled. Forgive us. We've just cycled 30 kilometers or more without stopping. So we're really enjoying just having a little rest up. Actually, look, if I put my melon trimmings over there, Waspy, you can eat as much of that as you want.
Go and feast on that one.
So is anybody in any questions? There'll be a video going up. What day is it today?
Sunday
So the one went up.
on Friday.
The next one that goes up is the one we're filming now. So the one we're actually filming, that'll probably be up next Friday. We're going to try and do one full episode each week and as many live streams as we can find opportunities to do.
It's been a bit difficult with live streams though, with the internet when we're a bit remote, aren't we? And it's just not finding the signal.
Yeah, I've had a few messages from people saying, you know, where are you, what you're doing? And what we're finding is when we find little places to stop, we're getting I'm not even a bad signal, a zero signal. It's just there's nothing there at all. We can't even load a page. So it's just coincidentally, each time we stop, we've had no connection.
So Jock says, hello, you guys seem quite secretive about your future travel plans, but considering that Europe is slowly heading towards winter, don't say that, is the Iberian Peninsula a coming destination?
Where's the Iberian Peninsula?
Hey, Mr. Waspy. You didn't get him.
We don't mind wasps. They can land on us, but really when they're messing with your food.
So, assuming you are still in France, have not been able to update myself on your progress recently.
We're not being secretive. We decided to leave the UK because the weather was shocking, and everyone said to us since it's nice. But today, we're sort of mid-late 20s. The UK is early 20s. So for Michelle and I, that's not good weather.
So Nicolette says Portugal and Spain, and Jock says Spain, Portugal is the Iberian Peninsula. So,
well, why didn't you say Spain, Portugal then? I'm not 100% sure. My geography's reasonably good in Europe, but I'm not sure what Iberian, I'm not sure where the word Iberian comes from. It's not something that's in my vernacular, so to speak. So it's difficult because if we go down into Spain, we've only got 3 months that we can spend in Europe. So if we go down into Spain, we've got to come back on ourselves whichever way we go. So we're heading in that direction. We're not being secretive. We're just south of Angers. Angers maybe about a 45-minute cycle away from the city centre. And we're trying to be as open as possible about what we're doing and where we're going. One of the problems we had is in the UK, we were filming too much again. One of my biggest problems is I film everything. And with the 360 camera and the GoPro and all the other videos that we've been making, we're making too much content. So we've just had to spend 10 days in a campsite. In what city was it? In Flers.
Yes.
So we spent 10 days in a campsite there, a little over actually, just getting the edits done from the UK and coming over to France. And that was a lot of hard work. And we had to do it, even though the weather was not that good.
No, we wanted to go south, but
We wanted to head south, but we just had to do it to try and get up to date. So now you will see, hopefully, as close to what we can provide. So we'll try and film a little bit less, but more the highlights. And then we'll put them up at the end of the week and what we're up to. And whenever we can, we'll try and do a live stream. I think the connection's quite good at the moment. I seem to be getting quite a good connection.
Yeah, seems right. So Jock says, and Andorra, we're talking about the Iberian Peninsula still. He says, I think Iberia was the Roman name for that province, not sure. So we like Andorra, but it's up a hill, up a mountain.
I'm not going to Andorra.
I'm not going to Andorra unless someone's going to take me up there.
Been there before. Andorra is like switchbacks up to the top of Andorra.
Even in a car, it's difficult, isn't it? I mean,
We've driven there a couple of times, and it's I think the smallest or second smallest country in Europe, because I'm not sure if Luxembourg or Vatican City, depending on Liechtenstein. I think it's the smallest. You can check that.
Yeah, one of them is.
And it's nestled in the mountains between France and Spain.
Beautiful.
Part of the sort of Basque, Catalonian Basque, I think Basque area. And you can sort of head down from there to Perpignan, or you can go down to San Sebastian, or you can even cross over the plateau and go across to what's the big city? Barcelona. Our heads are full of cities at the moment.
We're trying to feed our heads.
Or what I like to call the Iberian Peninsula.
Being educated today, being educated.
I won't remember it in a week's time, Michelle. The wasp is happy eating melon over there. He said, "Oh, thank you very much."
Yeah, he's much happier in there.
So let me just introduce you to my friend Clumiere. So this cheese, you don't see this very often in other parts of the world. I think they all come from this part of France. The Camembert, Brie. Camembert, I think, is Normandy. Brie, more southerly. And Clumiere is a sort of like a Brie, but richer, more creamy. And this has to be one of my favorite French. It's only a supermarket brand, Casino. It's only a non-expensive one, but it's a lovely, rich flavour. It's something between a Brie, the sort of plainness of a Brie, and that sort of mushroomy, cabbagey nuttiness of a Camembert. Very rich. If you haven't had it before, and if you can get it where you are, try Clumiere. Clumiere.
Lumiere. Just, if you said about your baguettes that were warm when you bought them.
We got 2 baguettes in Angers.
So it's Sunday today, and a lot of the shops close at 1 o'clock.
They close at half day.
Yeah.
Managed to get 2 baguettes. Beautiful. Got some melon. Trying to eat healthier. Just made myself a brew. Might make another brew in a minute to show you how we do it.
Keeping an eye on my little cupboard over there. But it's all right. It is locked.
So there's a place you can charge everything. And I've just charged the phone enough that we can do this live stream. It didn't take long, actually, about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's charged enough to do this live stream. But there's 4 little cupboards, and you put you know in the swimming pools where you go when you go swimming and you put the dollar in. Well, there's a euro thing. You put it in, turn it, lock it, and you can charge everything up.
As soon as it's locked, then
you get your euro back.
And then you unlock it, you get your euro back and take everything out. So it's free charging, but you've got to have the euro, otherwise it doesn't work.
And it's the first I've seen in France so far.
I've seen them, but I never investigated them. I have seen this before. It says recharge your batteries, but that was earlier on, before we were getting desperate.
Let me show you the area. Who's in? Say if you're in.
We've got Nicolette and Jock so far. Nobody else is coming. Oh, there's the bells.
Okay. So I can see I'm close enough now to read your comments. Say hello. If you're in, say hello. So we are sat here. It's a restplatz for cycles. There's 2 benches undercover. There's another bench here and a bench down. Is that Jock? Conscious truth, Edmund. You don't sound Australian to me. Well, I'm British Australian, mate. So stuff that in your pipe and smoke it. So let me just turn around and you can see here where the 2 bicycles are there. That's where we've got our little charger. What's that mean? It doesn't sound Australian to me. What I got to still go, "G'day, mate." Silly sod. Anyway.
There's fresh water here. There's bathrooms.
Oh, that's when I get fresh water, bathrooms.
Electric. Tables and chairs.
It's a real boon.
Yeah. And it's been flat, level, no hills.
Yeah, all the way from Angers to here was, I wouldn't say pancake flat. There was a few sort of gradients, but so good.
Yeah, and only a little, going into Angers, there was a little hill, but it was gentle, gradual climb, wasn't it? Wasn't too bad.
So I saw a flow of questions coming in there.
Now people just saying they're in.
All right.
So Jock said hello, Unconscious Truth, Edmund and Gloria Patry. Hello, anybody else?
You just... Let me take you for a little walk. There's a church down here. So Michelle will monitor the comments. So it's a pretty little village. This over here, you can't really see it. This is the Loire River. So we've just come off the Mayenne River, which we followed for days, basically. Beautiful Mayenne River. And I think from this point onwards, we'll be in the Loire. Sorry about, look, I haven't showered or washed for 4 or 5 days. I'm just trying to see what town we're in. Rue Le Garine. Don't sound very French, Stephen. You don't sound very French. So let's just take you down. I'll turn the camera around, take a little look at where we are. Hopefully we'll get a connection. God, my hands are filthy. So look, it's a pretty little town. I tell you what, autumn is coming well too quickly. In feminine. So we just came, I'll show you just a moment, stay with me. We just came up this road here. So down this road we cycled in from Angers and we are heading, and look, I think there's a little shop here, maybe a bar. We're heading out this way. And so we saw this little sign, Air d'Arrêt, a place to stop. And just here, there's like a little bibliothèque. So somebody's set up a place you can... Hi Anne, how are you? I'm with Michelle, I'm just come out for a little explore. So they've got loads of free books. Just help yourself. This lovely little stopping area. So I wanted to... It is a beautiful little town. Very pretty, although we've literally just ridden our bicycles into it. We haven't really had a good look round, and we were just drawn to this amazing resting spot. Isn't it perfect? I mean, this is so good. There isn't... Yeah, well, Anne, if you were here, you'd have to speak French. I think most of them are in French. And look, there's a little electric charging spots for cars. And then all this area for basically cyclists. And let me just turn the camera around one more time. Get a slightly wider shot. We are on a route which we didn't know about until we got off the ferry, called the Vélo Français. I think it means like Français means little French. So the little French bicycle route. And it's 600 kilometers long, from all the way from Caen up in the north, as you come over the channel, all the way down to La Rochelle. And that's where Michelle and I are hoping to take this ride. After that, I saw Anne was in.
Did you do the comments? Gloria said, what a beautiful little town.
Yeah.
Anne said, hello, I'm back. I've been sick for a while. I hope you're feeling better, Anne. And she said, Michelle, and you look like...
No, we're feeling good.
And then she says, oh my God, those books would be gone if I were there. She says, hi Michelle, hi Anne. I said, I do speak some French and I'm fluent in Spanish. I lived in San Sebastian and used to take trips to Saint-Jean-de-Luz and Bayonne.
You lived in San Sebastian?
Nice.
I don't know, have you ever been to a little village just west of San Sebastian called Oreo? A bit like the cookie?
Oreo. Not spelled the same, but...
Lovely little fishing village with a history of whaling back in the time. And we spent some time there. It's such a beautiful part of the town. If I thought we've got limited time because of the whole change in the European sort of regulations on visas and things, which is fine. But and we're on bicycles. And my little wasp friend is back again.
I won't tell you that he was having a munch on your ham while you were gone.
Was he?
I left him to have a little munch because I thought he might be gone by the time he got back.
He's eating half my ham.
Simon Lum said, a fellow Melburnian here, and Steve sounds perfectly Australian to me.
Who was that?
Simon.
Cheers, mate.
And says, yeah, it's nice. I like the small towns around Spain and Portugal, especially Portugal.
Mm.
And she said, have you been to Evora?
Don't know.
Doesn't ring a
We've been
bell.
to a lot of places we don't know
Yeah.
of because we go through places.
Yeah.
Northern Portugal I love.
Yes.
Coimbra, Arganil, up in the mountains north of Coimbra is very pretty. Coimbra as a city itself, very pretty. I'm not so keen on the southern part of Portugal. Forgive me, Portuguese people. I'm not so keen once it gets down to the Algarve and it gets all a bit sort of donkeys and.
And says in Portugal, and Jock says Iberian small towns, like his Iberian ghost. Yeah, we do like it along there, but we're not so keen on the southern Portugal. I mean, it's pretty, but
No, it's still lovely.
But
it's beautiful.
It's just busier.
But it's too touristic.
Yeah.
Very pretty. Don't get me wrong. So we've really cycled well this the video we just put up was literally days before we left.
There's one more. There is still that.
There's still one.
Yeah, because you haven't quite got the ending to
Okay.
it. It's finished, but you've got to put your ending on it.
So I've finished a video. I've just got to put a little sort of like a teaser for the next episode onto it, and that'll be going up very shortly. And then what we're filming this week will go up after that. Yeah. So I'm not sure in which order that'll go in, but you'll see. You'll see.
So Gloria says, Dean says, hi, Steve and Michelle. Sorry, Dean, didn't see you there.
Good day, Dean.
And Gloria says, are there other cyclists along that way?
Oh, yeah.
Just a few.
Just a few.
Was it a couple of days ago? Was it a national holiday? Wow, was it busy then? We didn't know it was a holiday.
15th of June. We were passing, 15th of August. We were passing like hundreds and hundreds of cyclists, and there were boats on the river and people walking and jogging, and eventually somebody let us on that the 15th is a national holiday for here in France, Assumption Day.
Yes.
And it was crazy.
Yeah, so busy.
That night, was that when it rained? What are we today? What's the date today? 16th,
no, because that
17th?
was Thursday, and then it was Friday. No, it was Saturday, and it rained.
So
the next day was overcast.
You're going to see where we stayed yesterday, probably in about a week's time. I'm sorry, we have to have some time. I can't edit here. I have to find some spots to do the editing for you. So you're going to see where we stopped, and we actually got hit by a bit of a rainstorm, which went from early morning all the way through the afternoon, and we just decided not to pack up. we just stayed in the tent and went for little walks between showers, and it was a nice little spot.
Loch Lochy.
Loch Lochy, yeah.
We got stuck there because of a rainstorm. A little bit more of a rainstorm there, wasn't it? That was when we were on the joggle. But no, it was just too wet, wasn't it? We couldn't. We just said we're not moving because we didn't want to, but we felt good.
Well, we've got to pack up the tent, and it's all soaking wet. Do you mind me eating while I'm talking?
I'll finish mine. When you went for a walk, I chowed down.
I might make another brew so I can show you.
That's my stand for my phone.
I can do it later. I haven't finished this one yet.
No, do it later. You've got to concentrate
questions.
A little bit.
Get some questions rolling.
Yes.
You know, I'll talk the hind legs off a donkey if you throw me some questions, but I just wanted to do a live stream because we could.
Petrie's in. Hello, Steve and Michelle. You guys are looking well.
Good day, Petrie.
Hi, Petrie.
Look at that tan,
we're
Petrie.
feeling good, yeah. It ends.
Ends there. I am taking the top off occasionally to try and blend it in.
But it's been nice. And when it's not been raining, which on and off, weather's not been too bad, has it? It's good cycling weather.
The houses in Normandy, if you watch some of the videos, you'll see the houses have pitched roofs like this. And normally you only see that in Austria and Switzerland because it's for the snow. And I said to them, do you get a lot of snow here? And they said, no, we don't have any snow, but we have it for the rain. And I thought, how heavy is the rain that you've got to have pitched roofs like this? And yeah, we've still seen a fair bit of rain, and the weather's still a little bit meh, but it's much warmer.
It's warmer.
We're never freezing like we were in
No.
England, like
No.
waking up in the morning in a cold wind. But I think everybody's suffering. They're not having great summers this year. So
So Edmund says, how are your bikes holding up?
really well.
A bit dirty at the moment.
They are a bit dirty. The other day, somebody made a joke that my bike looked too new. Let me just turn it around so you can see. So this is fine. Everything is holding up really well.
The only thing we had the issue with, which you did say in one video, but you didn't say you fixed it, was the mirror when we changed it over.
Right. So this wasn't part of the bike. This mirror we bought from Capo, and when we changed it from the left side to the right side, the thread that was inside just fell to pieces. Literally fell to pieces. So I had to repair it. So that was a bit of a disappointment. But these are tiny little mirrors, but they really give a great view.
And I like the way now, because when you first put them on.
Can you hear me? Because I'm
Yeah.
right over here.
Oh, okay, yes.
Sorry, guys. Let's go. Can you hear me? Go on.
So when you first put it on, when we first got, you tightened them up so they were firm, and then you could adjust them a little bit. But now you left it quite loose, and the articulation now is a lot better. So.
Right, I'll explain that to everyone. But we're sharing a microphone, so is it still working? Yes. So yeah, Rich.
No, people must have heard you. No, you had it on. You must have taken it off.
No, I think I went. Did I go to
the village with no microphone?
When I went through the village just now, who jumped in? Petri. Was the microphone back here? Anne, was the microphone back here? Could you not hear a word I was saying? I don't know. No, I don't know, Michelle. Anyway, so the bikes are holding up well. There was one issue. Michelle's backlight failed after about a week. So this light is really important because it's when we're in sort of rough areas.
You said that I heard you. You did take it. And Anne said I could hear you.
I think they're being kind. And what I found, actually, I started to strip the bike down to work out. And then we met a guy who had the same bike, and he had the same problem. And what it was, let me see if I can show you somewhere. Because this is the hub at the front. This is the dynamo hub. And anyway, there was a wire somewhere that was a little bit loose. Let me just tap this twice to see if I can widen the view out. Okay, so that's been going good. Obviously, the water bottles have turned into yacht bottles. The gas bottles we're getting down on now. We started off with 10 of those, and we're down to 2, so we're happy. These front bags, these Ortlieb bags are fantastic. Now, the bikes themselves, they're really running very well. The only thing I would really like to upgrade is to put a sort of cow horn rising handlebar on here so that we can sit up a little higher, or change the handlebars altogether to butterfly handlebars. The seats are amazing. I mean, these Brook saddles are so comfortable, so beautiful, and with this combination of this Connect suspension post, we've probably got the most comfortable ride I think you can have. I really yet to be on anything as comfortable. Now I keep the bike pole, the tent poles under mine, and Michelle has. I have the tent. Michelle has the table and chairs, and these little leather bags, we haven't used them that much, but they do store all our tools. So what else? I mean, everything's going really well, isn't it, Michelle?
Yeah, I'm not, no issues at all. Touch wood.
Okay, let me just check
Gloria says we heard you. Chris Garton's in. Hello, Chris.
Chris, how are you, mate?
And Gloria says, where do you shop for food? Just like little shops or something?
Exactly. We just anywhere we can. Like this morning, who said Gloria?
Gloria.
So this morning there was a little spa. Beautiful little church, which I managed to film inside, even though there was a service just ending. very pretty church. So I filmed in there some beautiful paintings inside.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
Michelle doesn't go. Only one of us can go in because one of us has to stay with the valuables.
So we like to use the boulangeries.
We found a nice, very busy boulangerie.
Yesterday you found a very good boulangerie, didn't you?
Oh, yes, yesterday there was a boulangerie machine. You put a €20 in and it took out a rustic.
So that was very nice. It was good. First time we weren't too sure, but it shot out. There was a little door that stopped it flying out, but if the door wasn't there, it would land it on the
You
floor.
put your €20 in, chose your baguette, which basically there was only one. It was a traditional baguette, and it shot down a chute, hit the door like bang,
Just washing up.
just washing up. So I'm going to make another coffee.
Are you? I better move that.
No, yeah, it'll be a while before I'm setting fire to your phone.
Put it sideways so that I can read it, because you know that silly little heart thing gets in the way.
This we do 2 to 3 times a day. You're going to see the coffee making procedures, unless we stop and have coffee in a bar, which isn't that often because they're rarely en route. Is that a big group rocking up, Michelle?
And 3 guys in a van.
If a big lot rock up and join us here, we'll probably end the live stream.
Yeah, they're just parked in the car park with their cars.
So I only boil as much water as we need, so 2 cups of water. I've moved over to the paraffin or the alcohol burner. We have used the LPG burners pretty much the whole route so far, but I've moved over to alcohol mainly because I want to use it up, because we bought a litre and a half of alcohol. So I just untwist this little knob here to release the flow. It's a little security bottle. And I was using, I've got like one of these domestic lighters, because the ones that you use for camping, they just don't work. They just don't work. They were rubbish. So we've got a little domestic one.
Everything has
works
its place
every
in the bag,
time.
so that's why I took that back off and to put it back in its place.
So doesn't look like it's actually burning, but you'll see in a minute it's burning very well. I won't put the cover. Normally I'll put the wind shield around it, but I won't do that for this experiment.
I think
2 reasons. One, it makes the handle really hot.
So Jock says, he's actually put compared, but then changed it to compared. Compared to the UK.
Iberian Jock.
Yes, Iberian Jock. I thought compared because we're camping. Compared to the UK and Australia, is France expensive?
That's a tricky one. I'd say similar on the side of cheaper for some things. I mean, for instance, Jock, beautiful baguette like this is €20.
Across the board, really, isn't it?
Pretty much. I think there must be a legal limit they're allowed to sell a traditional loaf for in France, because it's almost a right. Now these are like, we first came across these in Japan. They're little called over-ear coffee percolators. And they just like little papers, and you pull them open and they make a little pod, and I pop them over each cup, and then I take fresh coffee. Well, what was Jock asking about? I will get back to that in a minute, Jock.
Is France expensive compared to England and Australia? I would say Australia probably is cheaper than England.
Yeah, I'd say Australia's quite a bit cheaper.
I thought
We never
Australia was
used to think it,
expensive,
but I think as the Australian dollar's got generally worth less over the years,
Yeah.
it seems a lot cheaper in Australia.
I think
So
so.
the UK seems most expensive.
Yeah.
And France sits there somewhere between the two.
Yeah.
Interesting, there's a little motorbike lane that seems to be running up and down behind us. So I'm using Lavazza, nothing special, but quite a decent coffee. And I like it a little stronger than Michelle, so I tend to put 2 and a bit in mine. So I'll go 2 and a bit. And you just pop them into these little paper packets. You'll see in a minute what I'm going to do.
See, in Japan, when you buy these, they actually have the coffee already in it, and the top is sealed. And then so you just tear off the top, and then it becomes that opening, and then you just pour your hot water in.
You buy a packet of 10 or something, and you've got 10 little coffee parcels. But
Which
actually,
is fine if it's 10 if you're on your own. That's 10 coffees. But if it's 2 of you, that's only 5.
just 5, and then sort of day after next, you're looking to buy new ones. And for us, it means we can buy any coffee we like. If we see a coffee we like, we can buy it, and we can make fresh coffee. And we only buy small packets because coffee goes off so quickly. So we never buy anything over 250 grams anymore, because by the time I get down to the bottom of this packet, it's starting to get a bit tobacco-y and a bit
And you'll
stale.
start looking now, because this is the last packet we've actually got. So you'll start looking to see.
I looked this morning actually, but there wasn't. Yeah, there wasn't a
It was very small, the shop, wasn't it, there today? Anne said, I find dairy products and produce cheaper than the UK in smaller towns. Yeah,
Now I can't remember which one I put which in, Michelle. I think this is mine, is it?
Okay. That was the one you were talking about. We'd hold that.
Yeah. Now, the other thing, Michelle, of late, has decided she doesn't need the milk, because we got so tired of trying to get fresh milk. And I like my milk, so I've got powdered milk.
Gloria said, I'm loving this coffee making procedure.
It's super easy.
Ritual.
You do not need a lot of this powder. When I first got this powdered milk, I used to put like 2 teaspoons in to make it quite milky. But now I put just
cut down
half.
Yeah.
I don't want it. It gets too creamy. A bit of washing up.
Steve has perfected the coffee making procedure, so I let him continue with it. It's perfect.
Yeah, Michelle can't do it. It's too complicated.
Too complicated for me.
So she tells me.
Chris Scarton says, are you going to Mont Saint Michel?
No, we are not.
Well, we did follow the route for a little while. But
We didn't know we were near it, Chris. And then when we were in the last place, everybody in the campsite in Flares was going to Mont Saint Michel.
Rock up on the train.
But if you don't know what it is, it's basically like a monastery on an island out in the sea. The problem was, again, because not being lazy, but being lazy, it was 100 kilometers to get to it, and then 100 kilometers to come back. So we thought, well, if we've seen it before, so it didn't seem worth the journey. And we'd already decided this is our journey for this adventure. It's the Villa Francais.
Absolutely. So Petri says, I've never heard powdered milk, but I'm like Steve, I normally need milk. I always had milk in my coffee, and it was only when we were in the last time we were in Asia and we were struggling with milk, and I was getting fed up with having to struggle to get milk all the time. I just said, oh, I'm going to have it black. And yeah, it didn't take long. I'm quite used to it now. And actually probably prefer it. Even sort of if I'm offered a latte or a cappuccino now, I'm not that bothered by it. And here, actually, we've had the espresso, haven't we? You know, if you ask for a cafe in a...
Yeah, if we have it in the shop, I don't have milk either. Because I just have a normal cafe. French cafe is just either a espresso or you have a long one.
And if you're lucky, you get a little biscuit, a little cookie.
Not the last time we didn't.
Not the last time, no, we were quite...
Disappointed. It wasn't a great restaurant, that one, was it?
No, we just stopped because...
So you saw the small flame. Now, if I lift that up now, see how big the flame's getting? It's getting there.
It's a bit slower to boil the kettle than the gas, isn't it?
Much slower than the gas.
Yeah.
Also,
Right,
Petri, it's not actually powdered milk. It's Coffee Mate.
Yeah.
Now, oddly enough, Coffee Mate hasn't got any milk in it, apparently.
No dairy in it.
Dairy free.
And it is different to powdered milk, isn't it?
If you put powdered milk in coffee, you have to pre-mix it with hot water to make it into a milk first. So don't go buying powdered milk
It's got to be coffee
as a
mate,
substitute. It's got to be Coffee Mate.
And there's no dairy in it.
But that's a good thing. But that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Don't know what chemicals are in it.
Yeah, no calories.
No calories.
No calories, apparently.
Is that what it says?
Yeah.
Oh, look at me. There must be some sort of motorbike outing. There's a little road just to the right of us, and there are motorbikes going up and down it, and quad bikes as well.
The river's the other side. We've just joined a new river, haven't we? Mm-hmm. We were on the Main before, and now we're on the Loire. Just about to. We're not quite on it.
All right.
Yeah. But we haven't gone alongside it really, not on the proper path, only on the road.
But it's just there.
I know it is. We haven't quite got to it, we haven't quite joined it.
If you say so.
So Petri says, oh, okay, that makes sense. That's about powdered milk. And Chris Garden said you need powdered milk that has lecithin in it. It mixes in instantly.
With what? With what?
Lecithin. Leticin.
That sounds interesting. Who said that, Chris?
Yes.
The flames coming up.
Larry KP says, good morning, Michelle and Steve. Having breakfast?
Good day, Larry. Having lunch, mate. Don't say mate, you sound like an Australian.
Oh. Watch out.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch
There's
out.
that wasp about. See, normally, yeah, you do put the thing around it because when the wind blows, the flames tend to dance around a bit, don't they?
I mean, yes, and also when I put the windshield around it, the handle gets red hot. When I go to lift it up, it's which doesn't happen with the LPG,
No.
with the butane gas.
We've still got some butane left, 1 3/4 probably
Yeah.
of our lot. But as you say, we've got a little fair bit of alcohol now, so time to use that.
Time to use it. I've got a whole litre of alcohol, and the Trangia is quite good. But the only thing I would say is when we were researching these hops, everybody was using the Trangia on all the videos we saw. We're using the little Trangia in a similar way to what we are. But actually, there's a Trangia package you can buy, which gives you a windshield, a pot, and also you can buy an adapter to use gas. So see that's steaming now. So what I need to do is lift this off and try to basically...
Oh, well done. Blow the candle out.
make a wish. So as soon as it's steaming. So yeah, they do a Trangia set which has a gas connector. It has the alcohol burner, and it has a full set with pans and frying pans. I wish we'd bought that, to be honest. I wish we'd bought that setup.
When we were researching though, it never came up as a complete set like that, did it?
No, nobody seemed to be using that particular set.
So we bought all the things individually, sort of, you know, this bit and the gas bit and the kettle and bits and...
Okay. So if you've done pour over coffee before...
So Anne says, I have to go, need to sleep early and travel to Ipoh tomorrow. Have a good day. Sleep well, Anne.
Take care, Anne.
And have a good day tomorrow.
So this is like pour over coffee now. I'm just going to soak the grains, let them infuse with a little bit of hot water. And then I'm just going to top up these little bags until the cups are full. And you want to keep, I've discovered, to get the best flavour out of these, you want to keep the water level up fairly high, so don't let it sort of drip all the way down. So you've got a constant flooding of coffee grains in here, and it makes really quite a good coffee. I mean, I don't know if I don't know if my taste buds have just got so rubbish that any coffee tastes good. There's a motorbike. It's Sunday, isn't it? So
it's Sunday. They're all out on the motorbikes. We know people who are Sunday riders.
Sunday riders.
So Chris says, the problem I have with the Trangia is if all the alcohol isn't burned off, you can't get it back in the bottle and it leaks out of the burner. Well,
I don't find it does, Chris, when I put this. This has got like a rubber seal on here. So I'll show you in a minute.
So the first lid you put on was the one with the adapters where you can change it to...
Oh, Michelle, I tell you. I'll just... Go on.
I'm not telling you that.
Go on then. Go on. No, go on. Go on.
Because I don't know what I'm talking about. It's got a little lid on it that slides backwards and forwards, and it means you can...
A regulator.
Hang on, I'm getting there. Regulate the flame. That's the one he's put on to douse it out.
You know I've got the microphone. If I put my finger over the muff, you won't be able to hear it. So yeah, what Michelle's saying is, once this is cooled down, it doesn't take long. This little cover that I threw on there is actually a regulating cover, so it can be slid open. That is still very hot. This little cover here will seal. So if I pop this on there, it's got a rubber seal.
And that's the reason why you don't put it on when the flame's on.
Yeah. And also I want it to cool down. And there's a little bit of oil, a little bit of fuel left in there, Chris, and it's still too hot. But let me just see. So yeah, there's a little bit, a spit of alcohol in there, and I just need to...
With that lid on, it doesn't leak, does it?
I find that alcohol will still be in there when I open it, and we just chuck it in the bag, so...
And you don't overfill. You know roughly how much alcohol you can use, don't you?
Yeah, I don't overfill it, but always a little bit left, hopefully. And then you take these bags and you just hold them while the steam burns your fingers. You just hold them.
It's a process.
I liken it to sort of Japanese, Chinese tea making ceremonies. There's a little ceremonial feel to it. It's quite nice. In the morning, I quite like it. I really enjoy making coffee in the morning. And I take these little bags and let them drop. And then I usually pop them on the grass or the concrete as we've got here. And they continue just to dry out, and then I can throw them away always throw them away in a rubbish spot.
So Larry says, I'm from Ipoh, Malaysia. I know you have both been visiting Malaysia, including Ipoh.
We love Ipoh.
We do.
We had a great time there.
We've been a few times, didn't we?
Yeah, the food was really good and the people were really sweet, particularly in that little food court.
We had the salted chicken there, didn't we?
Yeah,
Yes,
Ipoh salt chicken.
Salt chicken, yes.
That was
the last
delicious.
time we went there. That was really good there. And then that little food court.
Yeah.
Actually, the last time we went to Ipoh, we had some good food, didn't
we? We always have good food, but
yeah.
The last time we had we experimented. We didn't experiment. We went to a little food court that was less touristic, and I really enjoyed it. And the locals there were so sweet.
Yeah.
So you see my quick wash up. Coffee's ready, lovely and strong. All we need now is a chocolate biscuit.
It's over there in the sun.
Over there in the sun. You always get one. So what I've got, Michelle,
yes, what have we got?
Is Waffles. Now these.
What are they?
You've seen it.
Oh, I couldn't see. Oh, you're saying what we've got is these, and I can't see.
Oh, sorry, everybody. These. Now, these are slightly different than the ones that I would have in Germany or Holland. And these are like, what is the name of these?
Waffle.
There's a name in Holland.
Yeah.
Stroopwafel. Stroopwafel. So they're like a stroopwafel, but here they call them gaufres. This is not French, sorry. Maybe it is. People are going to tell me off. But the other thing is, what's beautiful about these, like the stroopwafel, is you can take one of these honey-soaked waffles, and I don't think they're normally honey-soaked in Holland either. I think they're usually like a syrup.
Right.
And you can place them over your coffee.
You've got to make sure your coffee cup's the right size.
And the steam that rises out your coffee softens and warms the honey. And then you have this lovely, soft, chewy honey. Now, they sell them a lot here in France, so whether there's a version that's specific to France, I don't know. But stroopwafels are one of my favourite cookies.
Yes, when you have them over hot coffee. But your coffee does have to be hot, though, doesn't it?
It doesn't have to be, you can eat it as it is. Put your comments back here because you're facing away from everybody.
Okay, I just got to make sure. A minute. Yep.
I'll just move your stroopwafel out the way.
There we go.
So who else is in? Anyone?
So Petri said those
lurking?
sound lovely.
They are lovely. Petri, they've sort of got a layer inside, almost of really thick. These are honey. No, I'm used to them having almost like a maple syrup inside them. And if you've got like good fresh coffee, and our coffee's good, but it isn't like the cups aren't, they're not ideal. They don't seem to heat up, maybe because we're outside in the cool air. Yeah. But ordinarily, if you buy one of these and it goes over your coffee, as the steam goes up, they get very soft. I find these don't get soft quickly enough.
No.
But
so Larry said,
good.
Sorry, finished with the cookie? So he says it's called Ipoh Children's Playground Food Stalls. You had satay and murtabak. I think good video from you.
Whoa, that place is. If you go there at all, send our love to the families there. I'm gonna eat one and cover that. Michelle, do you want another one on yours?
No, I'm all right at the minute. Petri says I'm going to see if I can find some. I've had the waffle ones. They do seem to sell these all over the world. We've had them in, but they're all different, aren't they? Yes, you look, that's really soft. Look at that.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah.
See, I left mine and didn't play with it and eat it like some people. And Jock says, street waffles are too sweet for my taste. They are very sweet.
Oh, very sweet.
That's why I can probably have one. Look, look, look.
Are you only having one?
Yeah. Whoa.
I'll only have that one. This one was a tester.
That was a tester. That was to show you all how to do it, but he didn't do it. And didn't leave.
I haven't
it long
really
enough.
I haven't really enjoyed this one because of all the demonstrating I've done.
There's honey in this one, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah, it's a thick. Yeah, you see the honey. Nice. Leave it. Don't touch it.
I'm going to. These are bio. And this is, you see this sort of marking, I think it's meant to be sustainable. It has an E, a Nutri score of E, which I think is high.
No, it's bad. A is good.
You reckon?
Yeah, A is better. E is bad. There's too much sugar.
Okay, well, it's got, look on the scale there, it's got what looks to be the higher score, but Michelle was saying it's a rubbish score.
If you've got
It's
an
got
E,
the-
if you've got an E in an exam,
Yeah, but look at the way it's
I know, and it's
scaled.
red. A is green.
Well, then why would they bother telling us they're crap?
They probably have to.
They probably have to tell us.
But if you've got an E in an exam, you wouldn't think I'd done well, would you?
No, but it doesn't mean every scale is done that way, Michelle.
That one is.
Yeah,
Because the A is green.
right. If you go to school and they say to you, do the alphabet and you only get to A, the teacher's not going to give you an award, are they?
No.
If you get to E,
You'll get the reward.
you might get a star. So that's the way I'm thinking.
Okay.
My last bit of cucumber before I suffer with this honey.
Yes, he's had to have another one now to make sure it really does soften well.
Oh, cucumber's lovely. Shame I got to spoil it with this honey biscuit, really. We've been enjoying the cucumbers here, actually.
Yeah, it's been good.
Sliced cucumber, sliced fresh cheese. We're not having cheese because we've got too much food. Whenever I stop at a shop, we always have a bit too much food. So we've got so much going on at the moment. We had a whole melon. We've just eaten an entire melon. Got some green gages. Got some apricots.
In here somewhere. Little green gages.
These are lovely, little green gauge pumpkin. I'm not going to eat it because we're saving these for this evening's meal when we.
Petri said E equals excellent. Is that what that's what I told my mum for those grades when I was in school?
Yeah. Extraordinary.
And A is for average.
Average, or even a little below average. Well done, Petri. Me too. A straight E student. Okay, it's got nice. This one's got. You could almost see this is bending.
Yeah, when they bend, you know that they're soft.
They're ready.
You're going to lose bits of it. She agrees. There you go. So that's good stuff. And the power bank's probably been well charged, so that's good.
Do you want to go and test them?
I can go and have a look, see. So, because they've done well, haven't they? 3 days of we were okay, and then suddenly.
But we have been running on fumes.
Yeah.
And Michelle's just going to give you a little
Last
report.
night we even charged the phone with my laptop.
Yeah, we had the laptop open trying to get juice into the phone, and even this morning I only set off with about 40% in the phone, and we're using that to follow our route. So that was getting really frustrating. And I've got to keep the camera up just in case I see anything interesting. That's got to be kept up. So the only things with juice in them at the moment, big choppers. Sorry you can't see that. If it was a 360 camera, you could see it. So the only thing with actual power in at the moment is the phone had about 35% when we arrived here, and the camera I think has about 40% left in it. This place is a godsend because we're actually able to get everything charged up. So brilliant. Michelle's phone was already on 100%. She went, we've got like a charging block, which has 8 USB sockets in it. The first one is super fast charge, I'm not sure what ampage it is. The next 2 are fast charge, and the next 5 are sort of average. They're slow. So Michelle's phone got fully charged in
Oh,
15, 20
yeah,
minutes.
yeah.
Mine was up to 70%. So how are they doing?
Oh, well, one's on 60, but that one had a little bit of charge left in it. But the others are 38, so they're getting there. 38.
We're going to be sat here
28,
for a while.
yeah.
We
But
need
they
them.
were 0.
We are heading to a campsite. We are going to have a campsite stop so we can get the edit done, ready for the weekend. But we're not within shooting distance of that campsite at the moment.
No.
So we're probably going to wild camp somewhere tonight.
Because what are we doing? 50, 60 Ks a day on a good day?
Yeah, we're not doing a massive. I mean, they're not massive distance. Well, they're a lot for us.
Yeah, no, I think that's good. And we're getting some distance now, and I'm happy with 50 or 60.
We had 62, 63.
Yeah, I mean, we could
day
do
before.
more on some of those days, but sometimes we find the spot. It gets to the point, it's the joggle again, isn't it? We find that we suddenly come across a spot, and we said, okay, do we stop here or do we go a bit further?
Because sometimes you might leave that spot and do another hour and see nothing. So you'd rather stop an hour or so early.
But like yesterday's spot, I was looking this morning, and there wasn't another one for quite a long time before.
No, nothing.
And we'd stopped a little bit early.
If we'd have gone past the spot we were in last night, we would have probably struggled to find a
We
decent spot. It would have been,
I kept looking because I was intrigued to see, because we did stop a little bit early, but we were feeling some days you feel you're ready to stop. I don't think that day we had a particularly good eating day. When we don't have a good eating day, then you lack energy. But today we've done well.
That and the weather was rubbish.
Yeah, yeah. But it was nice along the river. The path was good.
But because the weather was bad, that's why we end up stopping for a whole second night.
Yeah.
So I've wanted to do this live stream, and I'm not even sure what I wanted to say other than just hello, we're doing well, we're in France. The plan at the moment is to do the Velo Francais. That's where we're focused at the moment. It's 600 kilometers. We're probably over halfway or over halfway.
Over halfway. Don't know, not really looking.
So we want to do the Velo Francais, which is all the way down to La Rochelle. It's a fairly amazing bicycle route, although today has been kind of shared bicycle and road, but really quiet roads.
Yeah, very quiet road.
To be able to provide a cycle route this long, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah,
There's nothing like it in England, is there?
No, and it is actually very well signposted.
Very well signposted.
There was one day where it was up and down the hills. That was hard.
Yeah.
That was a really, really hard.
It was marked as a red course,
Yes.
so it was all like this and pretty tiring.
I think it's only hard because our bikes are heavy. You know, we've got a lot of luggage. When everyone goes, everyone goes past us on their electric bikes, and then all on their races with nothing on their bikes, and that's a bit demoralising. But you know, we just keep plodding on.
Funny enough, when we arrived here, this place was packed. There were a whole group of people on the table next door to us, people all over the grass. But it was lunchtime, and I think everyone was stopping. And it was remarkable that nobody was charging anything up. So they're all day trippers. They're all out for the day. Even though they were packed up a little bit like Michelle and I, they were clearly not doing long distance traveling because they didn't have any need to charge anything, and they didn't have tents as far as I could see.
You can tell though, we've passed the odd person obviously going the other way, because we don't see the people going the same way as us.
No, we never catch anyone up. Is that what you're trying to say? We never go fast enough to catch anybody up.
We overtake people sometimes.
We do.
We do. No, but you can tell the ones who are long distance or doing multiple days.
Did you notice today?
Yes. There was a couple. There's the ones with the orange bags. They were quite well laden, and there was that young girl on her own. We waved to her. But you can tell because they've just got that little bit extra. It's just the ones with a couple of panniers on the back. When you see
somebody with 2 panniers like ours on the back and maybe a little, I don't know, little rack or something on there, you know they're not. They're just going between villages.
And they're in their lycra.
Oh, they're always in lycra. Always in lycra. The women always look like they've got a giant nappy on the back.
It's true.
Padded.
Well, there's a young girl laid down here and she had them on, and I thought, it doesn't look
Doesn't
good.
look good.
It doesn't look good.
Get yourself a B67.
Absolutely.
Get yourself a padded. Don't get a gel seat, by the way.
No.
These seats are fantastic.
Yep, I love my Leatherbrook saddle and my Connect seat posts.
And then you don't have to wear a nappy.
Don't have to wear a nappy. You can just wear your little shorts and you're fine. And you just got to keep it covered when it's raining. But that's all right. We can even ride. Yeah.
Your backside.
And me bum.
But I think I've shown people before that, I mean, it's so easy to just to come here, look. All we do, if it starts to rain, it's just it's out over the sea, ride. You can ride with that on.
Yeah, it's just as comfortable, isn't it? Oh, your sound's over here again.
Oh yeah.
He's saying that you can ride just as well with that on. And we put that on at night. Every time we stop, we put the tent up and we empty everything off the bike, and then that cover goes on at night, just in case it rains overnight. So Gloria says, I'm enjoying my morning coffee while you have your afternoon repast. And thank you, Petri. She said the pink looks lovely on me.
Me, she means.
No, me.
I think I'm wearing pink.
Lovely on you, Michelle. You've changed your name.
I have on that phone call we made yesterday.
Yeah.
Do you know we had one of those. You always have one, don't you? A phone where you have to phone the telephone company because something's gone wrong with the internet. And yesterday we had to ring, and because we had to go through the whole thing and say Michelle, it was under Michelle's name and her date of birth. Yeah, and then they had to call us back. So the guy rang from Mumbai, and he said, "Is that Michelle?" And I said, "Yeah." Yeah, and I just played Michelle for a little while, and it was funny because you could tell from his sense that, hang on, but Michelle, you see, can be, certainly in France, it's a man's name as well as a girl's name.
So Petri says, you look lovely as well, Steve. And thank you, Larry, for the super chat. Coffee for you loving couple from Evo. That's great. Thank you.
Oh, is that from Larry?
Larry, yes.
Mwah. Love you, Larry. Thank you, mate.
Coffee from you. Thank you.
Might even get some more honey cakes.
It's for coffee.
Careful. Dear me. This is children watch this.
Yeah, I've even, look, if they've changed it, well, I can give them a little heart. So I've hearted it.
Well, I can't see, it's over there.
It's all right, I can do that though.
Thank you, Larry. Now, Ben, bless him, did say we haven't done a live stream and he's wondering, so Ben's not in, but
Yeah.
sorry about that, Ben. I'll give you a little shout out, mate.
Yeah.
I know Ben does love joining in the live streams, but you know, we can only do them when we do them. We can't plan the live streams.
That you were going to be doing, we were going to be doing lots of live streams, but as you say, you can't plan them because
if I can get connections like this,
yeah,
I will.
Is good, a good connection. But I mean, quite often you sort of think, okay, let's do a live stream. Oh, you've walked around and round and round and then had no connection, haven't you?
Yeah. Now,
Larry says you're most welcome, dear. Thank you.
Did I see another colour script come up on the screen there? Was that what? So how does it show me how it?
What?
What did you do? You can do
So now there's a little heart there, and I press the heart, and it gives them a heart.
Okay, because I just saw the colour come up on the screen.
Okay.
Now,
I didn't do anything there.
Michelle and I have been having these ridiculous calories, these yops, because almost every shop seems to be doing a buy one get 50% off the second one, and so we keep getting these yops, and they're not good for us because I think each bottle is about 700 calories.
That's a B. That's not an E.
Oh, B for getting better.
Yeah, bit better.
Bit betterer.
So it's better than the Stroop waffles.
Better than the average. Better than average.
Yeah, I mean it's strawberry, and this one's a strawberry and banana, so it sounds all healthy, but it's got a lot of sugar in it.
Yeah, but the other thing that we've noticed in France, and I this isn't in the UK, I don't think. I've certainly not seen it in Australia, so if I don't know unless we've missed it. The lids now, they don't disconnect, they just sort of lock
It did one in the UK because I actually pulled it off and you said I wasn't meant to. Remember we bought that bottle of orange, I think it was.
Maybe, but this is on everything here.
Everything, water,
Coca-Cola's,
everything.
Pepsi-Cola's, water.
Yeah.
No, not on water. Yes, on water.
Yes, because that's from the UK.
So it's so that these lids don't get separated and, you know, thrown all over the place. You still see them, unfortunately, because people do. There's some people just pull them off.
That was the very first time I was just getting it out of. So, yeah, Gloria says water bottles too. Everything.
I think it's quite a nice idea.
Yeah.
At first, I didn't like it because I felt it didn't go back on as well.
Well, we were trying to. I think we were trying to use the water bottles that had them, and we felt it didn't go on so well.
Right.
Because these are the water bottles that we actually bought in the UK. We're just refilling them.
Yeah,
They're
these
still
are
going strong.
3, 1.5. Actually, one of them, Benedict, lady we met up in the north near just as we came off the boat, we met Benedict, and she laughed because it had Highland Water written on it. And I think one of them still has its Highland Water label on there. So they are Highland Water bottles.
See, Gloria says I struggled trying to take them off and finally realised that the top stays on.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't struggle. I just yanked it off.
She's like Bessie Bunter. Well, no, Bessie Bunter. Is it Beryl the Peril? I don't know. One of them. But they do. They actually, if you just push them over, they lock. They sort of click.
And they stay down.
They click at 90 degrees, and then you can kind of drink and get your nose.
Get your nose covered in yop.
So they're a bit pants in that respect.
Yeah. But it is better that maybe they don't. Yeah, they stay with the bottle, and you don't tend to just drop the bottle. You will put that in the bin.
Yeah.
I suppose that's the idea.
It's a clever design.
Or that you don't lose your lid.
I don't think they did it for that benefit.
I don't think so.
How many times have you lost a lid to a...
Never.
Never. So, what other updates can we give? We're enjoying the cycling.
We are.
We have the odd down days where we wonder what the hell we're doing because maybe the weather goes bad again. Yeah. And that was probably a couple of days ago we were feeling a bit flat. But generally, it feels good.
Yeah, when
physically,
the weather's good, we're okay, aren't we? I mean, I know that you can't always have good weather, but it is nice to have.
You can always have good weather. There's no reason why you can't. It's been a particularly poor summer for most of this part of Europe, and I think Normandy itself. Funny enough, did I say this already? Did I say about the map?
Yes, I think, I don't know.
I'll tell everyone again just in case. I think I might have said at the beginning of the stream about this, but when...
You said it on the video, didn't you?
Yeah, night before last, we'd stopped for a bivouac, as the French call it, an overnight in a little park area. And we woke up the next morning and it was, well, I didn't, it was all through the night. It rained all through the night. And woke up in the morning and there was this heavy rain on the tent, and it had been going for at least 4 or 5 hours. And then I turned the phone on and I looked, and there was this big sort of red orange rainstorm over the dot that we were. So I zoomed away on the map. It's like a weather forecast map. Zoomed away and zoomed all the way back so I could see the entirety of Europe, everywhere from Greece all the way up to Scotland, and there wasn't another rainstorm in the whole of Europe. Just over us. Nothing else in France. No rain anywhere. Just over us. It was just like our little blue dot was just sandwiched between this sort of like massive rainstorm. So that was a bit annoying.
Yes, and it wasn't meant to rain that day either. The day before it said it'd be sunshine all day, so we were a bit disappointed. So Petri said, I like the idea of talking about the lids because I will accidentally fling the lid somewhere. Don't ask me how, it's my hidden talent. And Larry says, yes, bottle top for environmental purpose.
Yeah. So some of the oddest places in the world have the most amazing environmental innovative initiatives. You see it a lot in places where you don't kind of expect it. In parts of India where there's parts of India where they ban plastic bottles and ban plastic bags, but somehow they're still at the sides of the roads. There seems to be about sort of 8 foot of plastic bottles, but there are some parts where they're making a real dent in it, and parts of China particularly are very clean. You know, it's amazing. I mean, I always say that some of you may know that when I was a child, I lived quite some time in Germany. And even back when I was a young boy, the Germans had a fand on bottles. So, you know, if you bought a bottle of water like this, it would be maybe a 20 pfennig fand deposit on the bottle. So whenever, and this is going back to what would be 1930s.
Showing your age now.
So this is going back a long time, and they always had these deposits on the bottles, so you could always be guaranteed there wouldn't be bottles anywhere, because kids would pick them up. If you threw a bottle on the ground, kids would pick them up, take them back to the shop and get the fan back, and then buy other things. Now this is
just starting to do that in Australia
just
now.
starting to do it.
Yeah.
Some sort of like 80 years later.
Yeah.
Just starting to, but you need these sort of initiatives. They have to be in place, and they have to be across the board. And it does make a massive difference.
I mean, in the UK, you have all these places where you have to take your glass bottles to the, you know, they're in the car parks of the supermarkets. So it'd be much better if you actually have, as you say, a deposit on it, and you put it. In Australia, it's a machine by the supermarket. You put your bottles in.
And only in certain states.
Yes,
yeah,
but it is slowly coming into the States. But then they give you like a voucher to spend in that supermarket. So the supermarkets are doing it, but at least you're getting your deposit back and then making the bottles be returned to their specific points.
Yeah, and whether they recycle them or not, the point is not so much whether they recycle them. If the supermarket just took them and threw them out in the trash, kids would grab them, run them back through and get the deposits back. So they have to be disposed of, you know, because each bottle has a very specific value to it. Whether they be glass, sometimes they have slightly higher value. If they're plastic, maybe slightly less value, but they have a value. So when those bottles are put back into any system, the company, the corporation who's paying you back for the plastic, doesn't want to pay you twice for the same plastic bottles, so they make sure those bottles are disposed of carefully. They have to, because if they don't, if they take a bag of returned plastic bottles and throw them out in the trash, grab the bag, walk straight back in the supermarket, run them through the cash, and get so they have to. It's a perfect system. For sure, I don't think there's ever a point where those bottles would get just put into landfill, because I guarantee you, if they were put into landfill, somebody would be there pulling them out of the landfill, you know, quick wipe down and straight back through. Because I used to see people when I was younger going shopping with bags of bottles, and they would run them into the shop. The shop would count them through, and they'd have like, you know, $15-20, and they'd spend it on their shopping. So
we used to see that in Hong Kong, didn't we, where they used to collect the cans as well as the bottles.
Yeah, that was a little different in Hong Kong because there was no deposit. They were really only collecting the trash they could sell for recycling. Yeah. So aluminium was really important, and some other metals and plastics were important. But it's a really good system, and I like it. Anything and new initiatives. They don't have the deposits here in France. I wish they did have.
Petra says, I feel like we kind of have something like that in the US, but it's not consistent, and it depends on what stage. You go to the recycling centre sometimes to get money for aluminium.
Yeah, you do need to.
I remember that in the States, because there were certain bottles.
Yes, there were that would only go back in that state.
No, and also that they were refused because they weren't the right sort of plastic. You put it in the machine and it would spit it back out again, and so that wasn't the right one. But yeah, it was only certain states, wasn't it?
But from my understanding, Germany, maybe even Holland and Belgium, I'm not sure, but Germany for sure has been doing this for decades, and it works exceptionally well. Whether or not the European thing has blown that out of the water for Germany, because of course they have to suddenly follow regulations, and they can deregulate good ideas when enough idiots come up with worse ideas, they'll actually sort of implement them. So whether or not that still is the case in Germany throughout, I can only hope so. We certainly have it in Western Australia, I think, and South Australia.
Tasmania.
Yeah, and it's starting to come into place in
Victoria
Melbourne.
Have talked about it, but I think they've just talked about it. Sweden too, says Jock. So it's good. It's good. I mean, I think it should be all over.
It should be.
Yeah, because it can't be that difficult.
But there is a,
Yeah, picture. Yeah, it's unreasonably complicated.
yeah, they do make it unreasonably
Yeah.
complicated. And
And
when it,
Denmark, apparently.
yeah, when I was a kid, when I was younger in Germany, it was just the norm. I mean, you bought a bottle of pop, you took it back. You always took it back. Sometimes you drink the bottle of pop, take it back in, get your 5 pfennigs back and pop it in your pocket and save it for the next time. But nobody would ever consider throwing a can or bottle.
It's money, throwing money away.
Nobody, it just, and I never remember seeing anywhere on the streets cans, bottles, or anything of that sort. Whereas last time I was back in the UK, when we were walking down to the supermarket, I remember there's piles and piles of cans and bottles and this sort of thing laying in the
And even here,
in the
we've seen
ditches.
in some of the rest stops,
Yeah.
you know, and there's bins around.
Anyway, we're grumbling.
We
Let's
are,
talk about.
yeah.
Stop that.
No.
Who was this? Petri bringing that up.
No, you're talking
Jo-
about it was talking about the bottle tops, and you were saying that some had good initiatives.
So, what we probably need to do now, everyone, is let you guys go unless there's any questions. We're going to put everything back on charge. So I'm using some sound today. We've got 2 sound units on, and my phone. We've got to get those on charge. We need enough power. I'll get the camera on charge as well. We need enough power to get us to.
That's all right, Petri. He's not really blaming you. It was him.
Oh, sorry, Petri. ITs.
He does.
That's information technologists.
So Chris says, "Are you sure they don't have deposits in France? That's where I originally seen that idea."
No,
I'm not.
no, it's not in France.
No.
No, there are some, Chris, but you won't have seen it here in any large scale, and not compared to if you go into Germany. And we do know because we lived in France for quite some time, so it was never here. They might be introducing it slowly, but it's not apparent. It would be written.
Well, you'd see them. You see the machines and things, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and also there's way too much. We see too many bottles on the side. So anyway, live stream caught up.
Yes.
I think we've managed to. Giving you a little look around the village that we're in. We don't know what the village is called.
No, it's outside Angers.
We're just below Angers.
Just hitting the Loire.
Angers is spelled Angers, Angers, if you want to Google to see exactly where we are. We are on the Velo Francet.
Yes, look up the Velo Francet.
Francete, Francet.
Check the last video because it's actually spelt there for you. We'll probably show you the signs.
And it's the most amazing bicycle route.
Yeah.
France are doing well done. Allez la France for doing such a good job of this. I'm well impressed so far.
I'm glad to see you guys. I'm glad you guys are doing well and take breaks when you need to, especially if it's earlier than expected.
Yeah, and I should say there's also a pump for your bicycles just here. I'm not going to show you it now.
Which we did pump up our tyres. Well,
pump up the tyres, pump up the tyres, pump up the
tyres for the first time.
Yeah, but I found the only machine that didn't have a handle on it, and it was busting the. They're meant to have like a crossbar on them for pumping, and this one just had like a metal post. And as I was pushing down, it was pushing really into my.
I did mine first, but then you did persevere and do yours.
I found a piece of like a bar of plastic that I put on top to push it down.
They have other little tools on them. Quite often, so that was good.
So they've got that here. Yeah. There's toilets here as well. Maybe we'll spend the night here.
Water, electric, toilets, tables.
We've got to calculate. We've got internet. I'm loving that we've caught up with you guys. That is high on my list of priorities to catch up and say hello to everyone. But what's really on my list now is to get onto the internet and see where we are, where we're heading to, where will be the next stop, which we haven't been able to do over the last 2 days because of power problems.
Absolutely. Larry says, thanks for this live streaming. We're enjoying for the latest news from you both. Cool.
Thank you, Larry.
And we do like doing them when we get into it.
Yeah.
When we've got the time.
If I can find a spot like this, I'll try and do this every week, so at least maybe even twice a week. And I'm sorry it's been a long time, predominantly because the place that we stopped where we were doing all the editing, we had really poor internet. So we spent a great part of that time trying to get a local SIM, so a French SIM, and that took days upon days to arrive because we had to order it online. And yeah, and even when that SIM came, the connection was so poor that it would take me 4 hours to upload a video. So everything's kind of stacked against doing the live streams at the moment. But if we find places like this, we know we've got a good connection. I'm going to live stream and update you.
Power.
And power as well.
Yeah.
All right. Now, if I say love to you all, goodbye, we'll see you in the next video, I've then got to get out the seat, walk all the way over.
And press the button.
And press the stop button. So, love to you all. Take care. From Michelle and I, just outside of Angers.
On the Loire
on the
River,
Loire River in France.
On the Velo Francet, enjoying the sunshine.
Next to a motorbike racing valley. Where's the stop button?
Oh, now he's got to find it. Sorry.
Oh, they've moved it.
Oh,
They've moved it. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye. They will say